What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a good day. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Jay. I'm a professional trader living in Southeast Asia. This is the Sunday market review. What we're going to do each Sunday is we're going to go over the Nasdaq 100. And we are going to just look at the charts and go over every chart quickly. Maybe over the course of 45 minutes or so. So, without further ado, let's get into it. If you guys are here live, thank you for being here. If you're watching in the YouTube video, feel free to come on by. We're at Mainline Trades everywhere. All right, let's get into it. Okay, Apple looks like it's pushing just the all-time high here. We are in the short kind of area. Have to see some kind of loss on the daily for me to get involved, but this is the liquidity zone up here. We'd need to lose the daily, so really nothing to do there. Okay, Airbnb. So Airbnb, we've lost the weekly. They gave a really good entry up here, and looks like we're holding on to a weekly now. We did have a little gain on the daily, so you know this is kind of in the zone here for higher. At least back up to test this. This level and this gap fill. You know, I could see them holding on to that. Just to play off this weekly level. So it looks like it's in a good spot to bounce. Adobe. So Adobe in the liquidity zone. I'd be looking for longs here. Off of this weekly move that made this swing. But I would want to see a gain on the daily. So if they do gain, if we get above 482 and get some closes up in this range, then I'd be wanting to take a long up into this area for this gap close. Yeah, at least up until here, but I like this area better, so yeah. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. All right, ADI just blasting off all-time highs. Not really much to do here. No real setup on the daily either, so just no trade to be had there. ADP trade was already initiated on this one. On the daily. There's still a level back here. This weekly failure to gain. But we would need to go there, and then so we would need to take the liquidity up here first. We'd need to take the liquidity up here first, and then lose a daily. The little short-term plays were here on the daily. You can see they lost this daily, closed below, and then retested. That was the play. These are second tests on them. I mean, you could do that too, but I really just like taking the first one. All right, moving right along. Autodesk. So Autodesk looks kind of interesting here. They did lose the weekly, and they haven't had really a good test on it. They did put in a weekly swing here that they kind of that's gonna be a gain on the weekly too, right? So, and they did gain this, so they held where they needed to also. So it looks to me like this is just going to be marching higher. If we gain above this, a retest of this area is going to be pretty good for a trade. They already gained the daily here and retested it. So this was the daily play where they gained it and then retested the zone. So this should already be in play, but it's pretty close. So if you wanted to still get in, you could. I think that we would be pretty good for a play up until there. At least this gap fill, but that's not very far, that's not very high, so I would say up until there. AEP. Okay, AEP. They did hold where they were supposed to on the weekly, and then gained a weekly after, retested it, and then marched higher. They are kind of in a liquidity zone, and they lost the daily. The trade has already been done though, right? So they lost the day. This isn't a bad place to take a trade, right? Like, 'cause this is a big liquidity zone, so you could get a move back down to here. But the trade has already been done, right? This is the trade. They lost the daily, and then that was the trade. So if you're not in it, it's kind of a little bit too late. Could be a move to take out these. All right. You just make sure that I'm on. Oh yeah, okay. All right. The what are we at here? AMAT. Looks like we're just pushing all-time high. We did lose the daily, but they held the weekly here, so you know, I don't know. I wouldn't be too quick to short this. So they held the weekly swing. They held where they needed to. They did lose a daily, but then they gained it right away. So I wouldn't be shorting this so quick. Just nothing to do there really. AMD. So AMD lost the weekly here. Lost the weekly swing, came up, retested it. We are in the zone here for shorts. Nothing yet. Taking the liquidity above this. And playing this move that made the high. This is kind of a good area for shorts for a move back below this. Now they did hold the weekly, so they could just hold it, but this isn't a bad entry for shorts even right here right now. For a move back below this. A weekly loss like that. Not too bad. I think this one might go to might go out on the Discord. Just put one more mark like this. I'll put that out on the Discord. Anybody not following the Discord, the link is in the description. I do put out all any signals I see on there. AMD, not. All right, AMGG, AMGN, sorry, just came down. They held the weekly, and then they kind of blasted off again. The shorts should have been played here on the daily, right? The first test of that. Honestly, I probably would have been already stopped out of this if I took this trade. This gap fill down here doesn't look too bad, and this weekly for a test down here, down in this area. So I would imagine we're gonna see this come back down here, but the play has already been kind of made. Amazon just marching higher. Looks like it held on to the weekly and made new highs, and you know, so they're just kind of marching higher. If you did want to try to get in this upper range play, there is a gain here on the daily. I wouldn't be shorting this just because it did hold where it needed to. All right. It's a weird one. ANSS. ANSS. Okay. ANSS looks like they want to try to fill this gap down here. They did kind of test this weekly, the tip of it. This was the play for long. We could see a little bit lower though. This is the range to long this thing. So, you know, if we see it come down a bit, this is a pretty good candidate to try to take a long, I think. On the weekly, the daily play, there's not really a good daily play here. You know what I mean? I don't like this kind of ugly top here, but this is the range for trying to get long on it. So I'd like to see it come down there. And then, you know, come down there, take some liquidity, make a new high, and then go. And then you would get in on the retest. All right. ASML. They did have a weekly fail here, and then blasting it. This doesn't look too bad for a short try. I'd like to see them lose a daily up here. Really, the stop is so good on this that you could just take a short try right here, right now, and just put your stop above here. It's not crazy. This isn't too bad for a stop for a short try. AVG. AVGO. AVGO, it looks like they're pushing all-time highs again. They didn't really lose the weekly, and then they kind of gained a weekly on the internal trend. So I don't you know, I just this just looks like it's gonna push to all-time high. So for me, I would just steer clear until we get a better sign. Yeah, they lost the daily, and then they just gained it, and then they held. So this looks like it's just going to higher than this up here. AZN at all-time high, holding the weekly in the upper range. You know, if they did lose something up here up on the daily, if they lost something with some kind of an aggression, then wouldn't be too bad to try to take a short on it, but don't see anything right now. BIIB, this is one that I'm in. We did have a weekly gain here. Looks like they're having a little bit of trouble at it, but we did have some price action above. And then on the retest is where I got involved. I believe on the sweep of this, but I could be on the sweep of this. I can't remember. So we'll see. The trade has already kind of been done on this one. If we do see some action down here, this will also still be a good area to try to take longs with stops underneath. Looks like they're slowing down, right? And they're running into resistance here, or support. So I'd like to see this one back above this, back above 319, at least at 300, something like that. But you definitely want your stops around here, 190. BKNG, it looks like at all-time high. You know, they didn't really lose too much here. We had a little loss on the weekly, but you know, not with any kind of an aggression. They bought it right back up again. So this I would think is going to go to all-time high again, and then we'll reassess the situation there. So once it's back above there, we can look for a trade. BKR. So BKR looks like it's trying to turn this around here now at this point and go and make a run for it. You know, we're kind of halfway through this trend here at this point. So for me, I wouldn't trade this unless we're back above this looking for a short, or back below this looking for a long. Nothing really to do there for me. CCEP at all-time high. Really nothing to do. They held the weekly, and they also held the daily. So I would expect this at all-time high again. At that point, can reassess and look for a short. CDNS. CDNS, bit interesting here. Lost the weekly at all-time high. This is a pretty big aggression too, right? To lose the weekly like that. Yeah, so you know, this is the short zone. We are in a short zone for this on the weekly level. So let's have a look at the daily. Looks like the daily short's playing here. Kind of the levels that I'd be looking at in the daily. And we're losing a daily again. This one doesn't look too bad for a short. The stop would have to be above here. And then so if I was gonna trade this, I'd probably trade it. I'd probably buy the back half of this. Put my orders in here. And then stop up there. So I'd like to see a move like this and then a move below this. Not saying that that's going to happen or anything. It's just that's, you know, that's what I'd like to see. If we did get a move up here, it'd be all right for a short. I do like that we lost the weekly here with some aggression too. So you know, this is looking pretty good. We are kind of at the first spot here for shorts. It's already been done, and then now they're retesting it again. So you know you could start trying to short this right now, even on this loss of the daily. You could short right here. You could put your stop there. You could scale in just a little bit, and then more and more and more and more, and then the most at the end. But this looks okay for some kind of a short. That's what I would say. This one will go in the Discord too. What is this? CDNS. All right. CDW. All right, so this one is kind of already played out a few weeks ago. For the short, they lost the weekly here, and then they retested it. Then they tested this weekly again and rejected it. They are holding this weekly. This would have been an okay spot for a long. Would have been kind of hard to make a long here though. We do have a gap fill here too, so we'll see what happens at this gap fill on the daily. I do like to fill gaps. But if we did get back up here again, it would be an okay spot for it to take a short, but kind of the main short has already been taken. So since the main short has already been taken, you just kind of move on to the next one, right? All right, this one looks interesting also. CEG Energy Corp. CEG. Looks like we're losing the weekly this week on CEG. Let's move that over to globally. There we go. We retested it a few days ago, this week already. So the trade has already kind of been made. You know, they could go in for a second attempt at this. If they do go back up and take the liquidity here, that's where you'd want to be trying to get short in this range, and then a move down. This was kind of like the first spot. There's still this daily swing hasn't really been tested yet. So that area could get tested if we do see this back up here. You know, definitely this is a valid short entry for a move down. Maybe even all the way down to here. That's kind of where that's kind of what I would do. CEG, going in the Discord. CEG. Okay. CHTR. Looks like the weekly gain was played a couple weeks ago here. 1, 2, 3 weeks ago. They did kind of gain it already. Not to say that they couldn't take the liquidity here. They could. This one looks okay for a turnaround. Yeah, this definitely looks okay. So we'll see. Sometimes they can have some crazy moves in stocks where, you know, it'll come down and then go back up. You take the liquidity under here, you know. As of right now, though, it's the trade. The best trade would have been to get in here. Yeah, right here. It's kind of a shallow retrace, but it doesn't look too bad. But the trade is already underway. I like this gap. This gapper up here is where I would be looking at, and obviously be taking profits on a clear of this range here. Liquidity up here. Yeah, gain of this weekly actually. Let's move that down a bit. So, you know, if you wanted to, you could scale in orders. Have orders starting here, even starting here, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, something like that. You did take the liquidity over here on a weekly level too, so I don't know. I'll play back up, maybe not back to all-time high, but let's see, at least back up to this gap fill. Yeah, I would say at least back up to that gap fill. Looks okay if we get a retrace, but it looks like they're off to the races honestly already, so this one might be a little too late. CMC baby, CMC. All right, so they gained the weekly, and then they've just kind of been marching higher, and then they lost the weekly and they played it here, and now they're marching lower. So until we start seeing some kind of a turnaround on the daily, I would steer clear of buying this. But once we see a turnaround on the daily, then I would say yeah, because they did gain the weekly here. So, but right now nothing. Costco all-time high. Not much to say or do when it's at all-time high. When's the last pullback we had? Oh my god, what a tear this thing has been on. Jesus Christ. Let's get a fib on this. Looks like next stop for this is going to be around 960, 950, kind of in this area. So I would kind of imagine it would be going up to 940-ish area before any kind of pullback, any kind of significant pullback. All right, it's moving right along here to CPRT. Copart holding the weekly. They did lose the daily up here, so this trade is well underway. This would have been kind of a harder trade to take. I bet there'll be a trade up here if this would have been a hard trade to take because the price action is not the greatest up here. Nothing to do there right now. All right, crowd strike. See, just holding on to the weekly where they're supposed to. Gained a weekly, retested it. Gained, retested it. You know. So, you know, even though it did fail the daily in this little range here, I wouldn't be taking shorts on that just because it's holding. Cisco Systems. Okay, Cisco. All right, Cisco. So Cisco lost the weekly, came up, retested it, failed the weekly again on the internal side, and then kind of marching lower, trying to hold on to this. This is an ugly chart, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to take positions for me in these charts. They look like they're just holding on by a thread too, right? So, you know, if you wanted to trade this, I would wait for something down here first and then have a look on the daily. There's still this too, so I would wait for this. I would wait for this to head lower, and then kind of reassess the situation. Nothing to do here right now. Oi, CoStar gains the weekly, retests, and off to the races, and then lost the weekly here. Retests and dumped. They're trying to hold on to this. This could hold. This isn't too bad of an area. I do not mind this area too down here. This isn't too bad for longs, really. I don't mind this area at all. Even right where it is. This is at the weekly level to hold. So this one doesn't look too bad. I would you know, on a gain of a daily potential here to make a trade. So like, let's say it went up here, it takes the liquidity, has a daily close up here, and then comes back down. This is a good spot for entry with stops underneath there. All right, this will be going into the Discord signals. Not too bad, really, not too bad. What's this thing called? CSGP. CSGP. All right, CSX. CSX lost the weekly, and then they came up and they retested it on the daily level. They did. This would have been a good spot for shorts. Yeah, this would have been, yo, it would have been a good spot for shorts. To the long side, I like it a little bit lower here first. This was tested here on the way up, but just one test. You know, this level is still pretty valid in my mind. This is a multiple week level, so once we're down there, I would maybe look at trying to take some longs. But have to wait till we get down there, and have to wait until some kind of daily movement occurs. CTAS just holding the, looks like an internal trend on the weekly. I don't really like it. They didn't make new highs, and so this is kind of ugly. We could see them drop down a level here and go to this. I would just kind of stay away from this. They did have a gap close here, and they did hold this already. This gap close, and then they did have a daily gain. So I don't know. I just don't like this wick, and you know, a lot of times when I see wicks like that, I just kind of ignore them. But you know, it's fine. I would. There's just better things to look at. All right, CTSH. Here they gained the weekly. Here they lost the weekly. If this goes back up, it would be decent for a short. They're kind of holding where they need to here, pushing up on the weekly, and this move that made this low. So this is kind of in the range. They did start slowing here a bit. They had a daily gain. You know, not a terrible play. This is my thought on this. There's liquidity here and a level here on the weekly that is untested. And did they take the liquidity up here already though? Not all of it. A little bit of it. And they are at like a monthly level here. Is this a monthly? Let me just look at the monthly here for a sec before I start just lying to you guys. Yeah, they're at a monthly swing. So if they hold here, you know, this has potential to go back up here. Or at least back up to this area. So, you know, not terrible play. We could easily have a month of up. So $10 up. 13%. Not bad for stocks, right? And so yeah, I'll throw this in the Discord. This is the area where they need to hold, right? They held that. This is the area really that they need to hold. I could even see them taking the liquidity out from underneath that, but this is definitely the level to hold. Nals, what's up, brother? Yeah, it's 4 p.m. here. Just getting my Sunday market review out here, doing the Nasdaq 100 doing it for the team. This one's going in the Discord. CTSH at the level. At the monthly. All right, moving right along. DoorDash. Gained the weekly way back here. Lost the weekly right here. Not really tested. Big gap on it. I like this gap fill. Dash on the radar for a gap fill short. They also took the liquidity from out from here, so they did have a pullback, and they lost the weekly on the pullback. Almost lost 2 weeklies. They're holding this weekly now. Yeah, if we could get a move up and then a move down, would be pretty cool on this one, I think. So move something like this first, and then I move like this after, lower than that. That would be my thinking behind it. Nice big gap there to fill. This is going in the charts on the Discord. Dash. Dasher. Dash. Gap. Dash gapper. That's what I'll call it. What else we got here? We're only on D's. Jesus Christ. How many are there? There's so many. DDOG. Data Dog. Whatever that is. You know, I don't really love I don't like this one at all. The trades have been made on this one anyway. This is like kind of mid-range at this point, so really nothing to look at here. DLTR. Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree had a weekly loss back here. Then it's been bailing ever since. Kind of expect us to see this. Ugh, that's gross. I'd want to look. I wouldn't even be looking for a trade on this until we're below this and in this. Then I would look for potential longs. Yeah, this is the area, and the top of it's already been tested. There's also this down here. That's kind of the next area to be looking at. This kind of all lines up with this too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind this area. I don't mind this area at all. So, wouldn't really be doing much until we get down there. I wouldn't even put it on the radar or nothing. Let's move these. Yeah, we're still waiting. DXCM, Dexcom, Dexcommer. Dexcom. Dexcom is holding. They're right at the level to hold on the weekly. This is upper range shit. I don't really like trading upper range, but this is upper range. The better play up here would have been to short this. They lost the weekly here and then retested it. Weekly closed below, retest, and then dump. Could they hold this weekly? Sure, they could. You know, but I don't. You know, I don't like doing trades in the upper range to the long side. I'd rather trade it down when it's much lower. A couple areas to be looking. Like there's an area right just below this. You know, this. And this. There I would be more inclined to be taking longs. Oh yeah, I look at shorts. I have a short account that's only for shorts also. Also the chat bot, it looks like it's not working still. I have to get that figured out for you. I'm just gonna pay for one at this point. I cannot deal with this bullshit anymore of the chat bot not working. Yeah, I do take shorts with stocks, but only mostly I take longs because most of my stock money is in a retirement account, like a long-term retirement account. But I do have a margin account for shorting. I only take like, you know, prime setups for basically everything now at this point. Too much risk. Electronic Arts. Just up and down on this guy, yeah. We are at the weekly internal trend. Yeah. I don't like it. Yeah, I wouldn't trade anything here. I would just steer clear of this guy. EXC. All right, EXC. This looks kind of interesting to me. Did make new lows here. Okay, let me just chart this out a little bit more. Looks like there's a monthly level back here. So there's this weekly, and they played the top of it. So they did test it. They gained a weekly, and then they played that too. 36, yeah. Kind of a, yeah. The trade has kind of already been made here. I would have liked to get in here. And I do like it better here. So a couple things that you could do on this guy. You could try to take a trade here. You know, play this range with the stop below. What I like better is it going down here, looking for a daily setup in this range, and then take trades to the long side. So this isn't like a prime one, because the trade has already been done, right? Like the trade was done here. It got to the level and then gained a weekly. Even if you like, let's just put these on the other chart here too. Yeah, so right here when they made new lows, lower than this and then gained the daily. It was kind of a hard one, right? Because it's, you know, they didn't have a daily close. It wasn't really nice candle structure, but there was the entry. So you're a little bit away from where the entry was. Yeah, honestly, on these, sometimes I wait for the play to even happen and then I get in an entry. So you're not too far away from where I would have probably got in. I would have probably got in there, so 4% down. You know, and this has potential to the upside too, right? Back up here. What is it to there? It's 22%. You know, not too bad, really. I'll put it in the charts. I'll put it in the signals. So there's either you know, it's either gonna, I'd like it to see it go here now or go down here and then go. But we did have a daily gain here after a new low at a weekly level, so this is kind of what you're looking for, you know. Even if you counted this as the daily gain, that played too, you know. So you're not too far off from where I would have got in, and really just that they've hit the first power off target, so could go a lot further. EXC. EXC, late to the party, but maybe. Fang. Fang coming down into weekly support. Honestly, I think they could lose that, but we will see. If they did start re-achieving on the daily here, they didn't lose anything on the weekly, so this is, you know, if they do start re-achieving on the dailies, back to new highs. If they start failing below this, then we'll be definitely looking for longs in this area down here under the liquidity zone of 174. Fast. Okay, Fast has lost a couple weeklies on the way down. Nice gap fill here and a weekly level to keep your eye on the radar. Might not play for a while, but that will play eventually. On the radar, it's come down enough now where I would just be looking for a gain of a daily. After a gain of a daily, then I'll be looking for that 74 target. So on the radar anyway. Definitely keep it on the radar. We'll get this in charts fast on the radar. Fast on the radar. All right. FTNT. FTNT. What the hell is going on with you, man? Wow. Held where they needed to, came back down. Kind of at an area right now. They did hold where they needed to here too. This one doesn't look too bad. So this guy, you know, they made new highs, then they came all the way down and they held it where they needed to. They started gaining the weeklies again, and now they're coming back to retest the weeklies. So I think this one's okay for a play back to all-time high again. You know, anywhere in this range with a stop below here. And then you want to play to all-time high again. And then if you wanted to play to a fib, you would play to around $100. Take profits here first. It's kind of what I would depict. Looks like they did gain also on the not really a gain. You know, it's kind of on the radar here, man. Like this is the they're holding where they need to, you know. They're holding where they need to. They are holding where they need to. So could it make another little sweep down? Definitely. I would wait until a daily candle is gained. They didn't really gain anything here on the didn't really gain anything here. This isn't a gain, just kind of internal trend. I mean, this is kind of a gain right here, and then a gain and a hold, but they did sweep this. I'd kind of wait. I'd be waiting on this a little bit, but if we do see a move like this, then I'd want to get involved. If we do go below and then, you know, do the move, then I would want to get involved also. All right, I'll be right back. What's up, guys? Sorry about that. A little emergency at one of the villas, but it's all good. It's handled now. All right, so where were we here? On FTNT, yeah. This one looks okay on a gain of this. I'd like to see a gain of this first. So if we did gain this, come back down, I'd be interested. GEHC. GEHC, kind of at the level, at the weekly level to hold. There is a gap fill here. This one should be on the radar. So at the gap fill, this one should be on the radar too, really. This is at the weekly swing, kind of in the zone, you know what I mean? So take that, put that in the Discord. GEHC on the radar. Oops. GEHC on the radar. On the radar. Wouldn't look too bad. I don't love it, but they did take the liquidity here, and then they gained. Looks okay for a try, you know. At least back up to this gap fill. Not much there. Not much meat on the old bone. I think I would pass. Not enough meat on the old bone. All right, looking at Gildy. This one kind of looks interesting, a little bit. Kind of wait until they yeah, I would wait until they make some kind of a move above on the daily. But they're at the weekly kind of zone here. At the weekly, wait on the radar, you know, waiting for daily. I'd want them to make a move back above here. So at the weekly, I'd like to see them make a move first. Maybe a move down and then up and then down, something like that on the radar though. We'll put it on the radar. We'll get it in the old Discord. GILD on the radar. Goog. So the Googs. All right, these guys, yeah, they kind of just held at all-time high. At all-time high, so you need to wait for something to break first, right? Nothing to do, nothing to see here really. Googs again. Why is this on here twice? Poke that out of there. HON. HOM. Let's have a look. HOM gain the weekly back here. Yeah, kind of held on here. It looks. I would imagine we're gonna see them higher. Imagine we're gonna see them higher. Nothing to really talk about on this guy. Kind of in the middle. This one looks interesting. Does it though? Yeah, see? Yes, see? Yes. Let's have a look. IDXX Laboratories. What a load. Let's take liquidity. And tested. There's better things to trade than this. I don't know. This one just, you know. If you did want to trade this range, I would wait for down here. Did have a nice. I like this gap fill down here. They're filling this gap, but I like this gap fill down here. I'm topping it here. Like that. I wouldn't really be doing anything much to this. I won't even put it in the charts. All right, let's see. ILMN, one that I'm in. I did mention this already before. It looks like we did have a little pump this week. Re-achieving the daily. This one looks good to go. I'd expect this above 148. That's what I'm shooting for. Above 148 with a potential move up to 200. Let's see what we can get. But it's already been put in the Discord. INTC. INTC at the level. INTC at the weekly level. At the weekly level. And gained a daily down here. INTC at the weekly level and gained a daily. This one's not bad. Right here, right now. This is what I'm gonna say. Right here, right now, at least up into this gap close. At least. But I like it more better up here. Right here, right now. INTC. One that I'll have to look into. INTC. INTC right here, right now. Oi. What else we got? Are we about halfway through? Fuck. All right. This one was already played. It looks like they did a real dirty move here. That's a dirty one. This is why you can't really have, for stocks, I don't put my stops too tight, you know what I mean? I always make it a little bit loosey-goosey. Because many times the move will happen and it's like they just, you know, take you out. Especially in stocks. In micros too, I hate it. Nothing to do or say here until we get a little bit lower now at this point. All right. Whoa, yeah. Nice untested weekly down here. Got this gap close. They gained a weekly. Yeah, nothing to really do or say here. We're at all-time high, so just kind of waiting on that one. KDP. They did kind of play this. So that kind of stuck out to me in this chart. But it looks like they played it already. So next thing I would kind of look at is the top of this and this gap fill, but it's hard to play. Yeah, this was really the entry here. Nothing to do now. Craft Irons. So Craft Irons coming into the level again on the weekly. This is basically my entry zone on this one. This is one that's in my portfolio. Thinking this range will hold, man. We'll see. This has tons of potential to the upside, right? So I'd like to see it back up into like the 54 range, or at least take this liquidity here at 48, 49. This is kind of what my long-term play would be on that. It's kind of stuck in between two major levels here. Just the weekly. This weekly is not touched yet either. Really kind of mid-range right now, right? So I like to see it up here. I'm already in. I'm in from, I can't remember where. Maybe here I was in. Can't remember exactly. I think I actually took this internal trend. So that one's playing at this point. KLAC at all-time high. We did have a daily. Yeah, this isn't really a fail. I wouldn't count this as a fail. So no fail yet. Even if they fail here, there's lots of stuff here to hold it. But this one should be keeping this one on the radar, at least for a potential short, because we are at all-time high, and you know, we're just waiting for failures. If you can't even short it. So quite a bit, quite a ways away from the weekly swing here on this guy. We did kind of, it's not very clean, but we did kind of lose the daily there, and then dumped, retest. This isn't clean though, so you know, I don't know. I would just move along. Lulu. Lulu. Lulu in a pretty decent area for higher. This one looks okay. This one looks okay for sure, and we had a daily gain here, little one, but hey. Lulu looks okay. Lulu, little gap closer here. Little gap. I'd be looking for something above here. Probably this. This and then honestly higher, right? So this and then all-time high. So Lulu, we'll put UU into the Discord. Lulu looks okay for a try right here right now. Marriott losing the weekly. Already tested the weekly too. Now we're having a little daily gain. When you lose the weekly like that, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like this for higher. I like this for lower. There's really not much to do. The play was, you know, a month ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago here. So that's what I would wait until then. Not too much to do right now. This was the play on the short. If we come back up, you could try to play this short up here too. But right now, nothing. But they did lose a weekly there. That's a pretty good candle too to take a short on. All right, MCHP. Just at all-time high. Bit of a rejection here. We did lose the daily, but we have a weekly right here. Nothing I would be trading right now. Whoa, big whoosh. Oh, be right back. All right, folks. Let's hope that's the last interruption. I hope. Okay, so MDB, this one kind of looks interesting to me. MDB at the weekly level, we had a big gain. This is kind of the zone that you're looking for here, man. Not quite there yet, but like this is very close. I would be kind of interested in scaling in here with stops below. If you don't want to have wide stop like that, then you can on the daily wait for some kind of confirmation on the daily. Big dump though, wow. See, they took the liquidity up here. So you know, looks all right to me, man. This looks all right for it to pop. Kind of I'd be looking to accumulate just below here, like for like this whole range. I'd be looking to accumulate this range. Oops. Even there. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy short. This one's going out on the Discord for basically right here, right now. MDB at the level. MDB at the level. Okay. MDL. Weekly gain, come back down. Failed the weekly, took liquidity. Blast off, come back down. This is kind of looking like a decent kind of spot. Not too bad on the daily internal trend. You know what I mean? So you could just do a nice little daily internal trend here. Stop here. Not too bad. Look for a move back above here and then another move back above here. Not too bad. Looks okay. What's this guy? MDLZ. MDLZ. Looks okay. MELI. MELI. Lost the weekly. Lost the weekly again here. This is gonna go down. Looks okay for a short if we get another pump. Well, short on a pump. We'll short on a pump into this, down to here, and then here. What is this? MELI. ELI. The radar. Radar, resting orders. What else we got? We almost done. Oh my god, last page. Meta. Oh my god, Meta lost the weekly. Wow, the Meta short. Wow. How did I just run into this? Meta, short Meta right here, right now. Doesn't look too bad, man. This doesn't look bad at all for a short, dude. I'm shorting Meta. This one's even going out on Twitter. Too good, it looks like, man. This looks too good to be true. Really, I would expect them down to here. This one's going out on Twitter for everyone to see. You guys saw it here first. I'll put it out on Twitter so everyone can see. Planning. Meta short. So right now. MNST. This kind of looks a little ugly at the top here on the weekly. I don't know. I can't really depict it. When I can't depict it like too good, I just kind of move along. MRN. This is one that I'm in. I'm just still kind of waiting for this upper zone. 81. I'd like to see it get to. We're well into this trade though by now. Nothing to see here or do. Did we didn't lose anything, eh? Nah. This is still just gonna be marching higher, I think. MRVL. Yeah. Did have a weekly lose here, but not by much, you know, so this is still could just keep going. Yeah, I don't know. I would just trade something else. It's at all-time high. Microsoft didn't really lose anything with confidence. I'd wait for new highs on this guy. MU all-time high. Nothing to see or do here. Yeah, they held. Netflix. Oh wow. Wow, what a blast off, eh? Over the last year. So they lost the weekly and then they just kind of made new highs. So like, you know, I think they're gonna just be making new highs, Netflix, and probably like quite higher. Nvidia, wow, holy shit. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here or do. There's not even a short opportunity really on the daily yet. Nothing, you know. The Nvidia short is going to be pretty epic when it happens, but not today. They're at all-time high and not. Yeah, the Nvidia one, fucking crazy, dude. Really, that's nuts, man. I had Nvidia too in my portfolio, but not anymore. I should have held it. It's easy to say now, I guess. Jesus. Let's have a little breakdown of this guy. Oh wow, we're at a spot. Wow. Kind of beyond, like, this should be on the radar for shorts, you know, like at all times now. At this point, this has gone up way too fast. Yeah, there hasn't even been has there even been a daily short opportunity? I guess here, not really though. This right here was the first. That was in March. Yeah, this is to January 2021, and then the rocket blast off. This, I guess, was a short opportunity too. Couple areas that there was for shorts, but nothing crazy, man. Even all this mess is not, there's not even a short opportunity really in here on the daily, like not a proper one anyway. You could have shorted this, but these ones are way more higher risk to do that. Yeah. How high will it go? Who knows? Could go forever. Nothing to see here. ODFL. These guys were at all-time highs and then they blew it. There's an big untested area up here. So this one would be on the radar, but it needs to get back up here. So that I kind of want a move back up there before a bigger short. They are kind of at a zone here, and this is a weekly untested, and they tested it there. The bottom of it is not tested though. So we're kind of around a zone. I'd like to see a daily gain on this, you know, before a move higher. And honestly, I'd like to see it go up there and then die. So we'll see. I'm not even putting that out on anywhere. Alrighty. ON lost the weekly, came down, big dump, no gain, big dump, small gain here. Hard to get into trades because the stop is so fucking wide. I don't like it. Next, Orly. ORLY. Lost the weekly. Lost the weekly and didn't. I'd really like to see this gap fill get closed. This is a really good gap fill. It's a weekly level, the weekly failure, and a gap. This is what I look for. You know what I mean, for good trades. Really. So I'd like to see this gain the weekly or gain the daily here. If this could gain the daily, we're also at a daily level here. The swing test on the daily untested, so this could have legs. So this honestly, this is good. This was good, man. Not too bad. And I mean, it's an expensive stock, but it is what it is. It's usually the expensive ones play better. But yeah, I'd like to see him move back up into here, and then really up into here. Put this in the old ORLY. Looks good. Looks good to go. Looks good to go. What else we got? These guys kind of just held. They did fail this weekly on the top. Didn't quite play yet. There's a huge gap fill here. They did gain this daily. So if you're not in a trade on this one, there's really nothing to do at this point. PX. Just at all-time high, kind of kicking around. Close to it. Yeah, they're trying to bust through this level. The move that made the all-time high, the daily. Yeah, it's so choppy. And holding on to this daily. Mid-range, really nothing to do, you know. PCAR. PCAR. PCAR did have a little daily. No, not really, actually. Never mind. It's all lies. The short was already played. I wouldn't be really interested in a long in this until it got back down here. So there we can talk about longs on a gain of a daily. This really didn't fail with much, you know, conclusion. This is at the short level. This is a tested zone, and they took the liquidity already in it, though. So, you know, they did lose. Then this is a weekly level, right? So a weekly level, they lost daily here too. This is kind of what you look for a setup, right? I don't like it because this was already tested on the way down right here. And not only was it tested, they took the liquidity too. So a lot of times when they take the liquidity's gone. So there's you know, the market has a much easier time to push through it. So when if I don't see a good like perfect setup, like I just move along, right? It's not a huge deal. Yeah, this one. Yeah, they took the liquidity up here, dumped it, and then trying to hold. I don't know. This is like mid range. Nothing really to say or do. PayPal. I was looking at getting into PayPal. PayPal was at a level for a long time, accumulating. Yeah. It's just like, you know, they just took all the liquidity out from under here, right? So this could go. They gained a weekly. Retested it. This is where I was looking at it to get in. I should have, but I never did. So they've gained it. I would like to see them above this at this point. So I'd like to see them above a 76 and then a pullback to this zone. So we could be looking at shorts above 76, and then once we pull back a pullback to 65ish or whatever, then we can look at longs there. PayPal, like sometimes it barely moves, man. It's been kind of accumulating a long time for in this range, you know. We've been between 70 and 73 and $50 for like, I don't know, a while. QCO at all-time high. It looks like they just took the liquidity up there. We'll see if they fail the daily up here. I don't know. It doesn't. They're trying to hold the daily, but you know, it's not. There's not too much to hold on to right up here. Next level down is at 174, so expect them to go down there. Top of the breakouts there. So I'd expect them to. I'd expect some kind of a pullback, but we'll see. If they pull back deep enough, this would be an okay area to buy, because there's like multiple things that are propping it up. REGN. This guy's failed the weekly, then just blasted it. Yeah. Failed the weekly, then blasted it and said fuck you to everybody. Great. Yeah, so nothing to see there. Just blasting all-time high. ROP, same kind of thing. A little bit of kind of ugly at the top here. You know, they did fail it, but they didn't really. You know, this is kind of ugly up here. So I don't. You know, I just don't trade that kind of stuff. ROST, kind of at the level here on the weekly failure. Yeah, this looks okay. Really, this looks okay. Sync these globally. Look at the daily. So this is kind of the area to fail. I would, you know, you can take trades here. You can take, this is the area to fail. So you can have stops here. You can have stops here. You know, 51's kind of a wide one, but they fail here. You're looking at, you know, this could be going much lower, right? If it does start failing, at least below this, at least below here, you know, and then potentially back down, test the tops of these. I would say this, kind of the area that I would be looking at for a failure. We'll put this one on the old radar, but this looks like a right here, right now kind of play. Oh, yeah, ROST, yeah. ROST in the zone. Get this on the old signals list. ROST in the zone. In the zone. Starbucks. At the weekly spot. Fail this up here. It's kind of ugly. It did have a daily gain. We kind of missed it. So this is this was kind of the area to hold. You know, this right here. It's kind of where I would be looking when it came back down. And then tick up below that. A gain of this and a retest of that. So they gained it here and they retested it. So at this point, if you're in this trade, I would be looking for the gap. Yeah, I'd be looking for the gap and then just kind of save the rest, you know what I mean? And just see what happens with it. Holy, serious. Seriously, what happened to you? What a wild chart this one is. Holy shit. $2? Let me look on the higher time frame here for a second. Okay, they made new lows. They gained it. Now they're coming back to test it and take liquidity. You know, this one's, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just start accumulating this one at fucking $2, man. This is so cheap. I don't know who the fuck uses XM radio. All right. SNPS. Didn't really have a failure up here on the weekly. They haven't really even failed the daily either. Oh yeah, they did right here. Never mind. They failed this one and then they failed this one. Looks okay for a short on the daily. They did, you know, this weekly is just, you know, it's not the greatest. I don't really like this chart when they look like that, when they have the real wiki at the top. Excuse me. It's not like a proper failure. All right, moving on to teams. Let's see what we're looking at here, man. Let's have a look at what we're looking at. Doesn't look too bad, actually, right now. Doesn't look too bad right now. I'd look for a gain of this. This is on the radar for sure. On the radar. Yeah, on the radar. Get this guy on here too. On the radar. This guy will be on the radar. What is this? Team on the radar. All right, team on the radar. Almost finished here, boys. TMUS at all-time high. Not really much to say there. Tesla. This was a good short here on Tesla, you know. Tesla in the place to kind of the area to hold. You know, they've gained. Let me just see here. They've gained. So they failed the weekly. Came back up, retested the previous high here, dumped it. So that played very well. Then they've gained now. They've gained this weekly again. Gained the weekly and it played. Now they've come down and they've taken the liquidity. So this isn't an area to go. They've also gained the weekly again on this side, right here, right? So, you know. This is in a spot where it could start going again. So I would just keep your eye on this guy. They've already gained the daily here, and they had a blaster move, right? So looks good to go. I would kind of be looking for above 300 on Tesla. On Tesla, get accumulation zone. I like it. I'm gonna put it in the old signals. Good accum zone. Tesla Tesla, decent accumulation zone. Looking to accum more here-ish. TTD. TTD. So this is the area for TTD. Now, this was already tested on the way down. Coming back up again. So could this start failing? It definitely could, and just have to wait and see. For a move, a daily loss first. Nothing really to talk about right now, though. TTW. They lost this weekly, but then they just held the zone, right? So I don't know. I think that this would kind of go higher. I don't know. These easier things to trade, not this. This isn't a bad place to do. They did lose a weekly, but they did hold something too. You remember when you're just looking for, you need to look at everything, right? You need to look at what they lost, and you need to look at what they held, and you know what's going on in the whole picture of the stock, of the chart. TXN looks like they just took the liquidity from all-time high. Yeah, you know, liquidity grab on all-time high is you know, it's kind of a rough place to take a short, because usually when they take the liquidity from all-time high, they usually lose the daily. And then, you know, it's just you need to wait for some kind of bigger play to play out. VRSX all-time high, nothing to say there. Same with VRTX. WBA, this is a stinker. I'd like to see this one start moving. Now's the time. We've taken all the liquidity now, you know, now's the time. Warner Brothers, this one's already been out. I've already looked at this one multiple times. I think this one's a good. This one's got banger written all over it. So this is in the accumulation zone. WDA. Yeah, a bit rough, you know. If we did get there's 2 gap fills and it's fucking pushing up on the weekly. If we didn't, like this one's just, it's just hard to trade. Like if you wanted to trade this, you'd need to trade this here and put your stop here. At the level, but I don't know. This one's a bit rough. XCL. So we missed the initial move. Where are we? We did fail. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Let me just look at the longer time frame here. Look at the monthly. This is a monthly. Yeah. This is a tested area too, so you know, I would pass on that too. ZS. It looks like they're buying it off this monthly. This is the area to hold on the monthly. Oh, not 15. Let's go back to the weekly. So yeah, this is the area to hold. Holding this on the monthly level. This is the monthly candle swing. They did gain this daily, retest it beautifully. You know what I mean? Off to the races with this guy, I think. On a pullback, I'd be looking to get into this. Would be awesome if we could come back and take this. You know what I mean? This area, this zone would be cool. On the radar anyway. This is kind of what I look for. A gain, a sweep, a gain again, and then come back retest. That's my main, that's one of the main ones I like to do. We'll put this in the charts too. What is this? Z2? ZS. ZS on the radar. Looks good on a pullback. Pullback. Yeah, it works good. You like that one too, yeah? I just find I find the ones, Nulls, that they've swept the liquidity. So they gave you, they showed you that it was gonna move in like, let's say for long. They show you, they gave you a gain, then they go back and they sweep out all the liquidity of everyone who got long, and then they gain again, and then they go back again, and at that point it kind of looks like they might fail, right? Because they you know, they swept it. So it's harder for people to see those ones. Yeah. Anyway, that's the market overview. Oh yeah, how long did that take? I don't know, like an hour or so, maybe 2. A bit slow at this. Just quickly look over the crypto market and see what happened here too. So Bitcoin, yeah, just marching higher. This guy is just marching higher, I believe. Daily here. Decent trading on Bitcoin over this last little while. You know, they came up, they lost it, they came back up. You know, playing these levels almost perfectly. Yeah, this is all running off the laptop on the desk. It's a high-end laptop though, so. But yeah, because I had to be mobile. I had to be mobile for so long, right? And I'm still even now, man. Like next month, I'm going to Thailand for 2 months. So I won't be here, but I promise when I come back, I'll have a decent camera. But yeah, it's a Razer 3080 Ti. It runs decent games too. Like I play some games. I love it out here, man. Oh, why am I going there? Well, what happened is I spent all my money on villas and now I have no money. So it's not like I have no money, but I have my funds are drastically low at this point. So I have to rent out even the place that I'm staying for 2 months at least, just to get, you know, to get the funds back in the account. It's not really an issue. Like there's these places rent. Like I put the villa up next door up for rent because these just finished construction, and it rented in like, I don't know, like a day or 2 days, and it was rented for a month or for like 6 months ongoing. So my plan is me and my girlfriend, we're gonna go to Thailand and live just like a little bit more on the cheap, because these villas I can rent out for like 3 or 4 grand per month. So I'm just gonna rent this one for 2 months and then have 8 grand in the bank, right? Plus the other villas that are renting, so should be fine. We're gonna go live on the cheap, live on the beach just for, you know, a little while. Yeah, it's super cheap, dude. You can live in Bangkok and stay in a decent apartment for $500 a month. Like if you're okay with condo life, then you know it's totally fine. Yeah, it's all right. You want to have a quick tour of the place here, Nels? I can take my phone off the tripod. You can see. It's daylight out here. At least you'll be able to see it. All right, let's take a look. You won't be able to hear me though, so just chill. I'll turn up the music. You like it? Yeah, it's all right. It's beautiful because it's right on the rice field. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I have two exactly like this, and then I have one more that's a smaller one. Still nice, but smaller and no view. So yeah, that's why we're gonna be going to Thailand, just because we drain the accounts to get all this shit set up. I think Bitcoin's just going to all-time high here. How often will I need to do what? To go to Bangkok? Just once. After one time, it's like I'll have a bunch of money in the account. Because I have 3 villas. I'll have 3 villas renting. These ones rent for $3,000 each, so there's 6, and then my other one rents for 4. So there's 10. So if I do it for 2 months, there's 20 grand. And then anytime we want to go, then I'll just rent this place too, right? It's not like we have to, but in the, you know, high season in Bali, it's fucking nuts here, right? There's so many people come here. So it's better for me anyway, unless you like the crowds, it's better for me to just go to the and just leave and go somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's just so busy. I'd rather go to like tropical island in Thailand and just, or even somewhere else in Indonesia. But yeah, there's a few times a year that we'll probably do that. In the summertime, like now, June, July, August is like the high season. And then in go around Christmas time, so like December, January. Yeah, I don't know, man. As long as it's the spot for the next 4 or 5 years, I will have gotten most of my money out. My break even points in like 4 years or 5 years. After that, doesn't really matter. I can just sell all the places and move somewhere else if I want or whatever. Not to mention the land values. I came here in COVID, right? So like I got these places for really a decent deal. And the land value was so cheap. Anyway, this is I think this is going to be the stream for today. Yeah, it's decent, man. Can't complain. And like the villa rental game, it's fucking easy, dude. I hired I hire staff to do most of the shit. I just do very little, you know, very little of the shit. I can just concentrate on trading and playing video games. Gonna be booting up Star Citizen soon. I have my sticks all ready. Can't wait. Anyway, guys, it's been a slice. That's it for me today. I'll be back tomorrow for when am I gonna release the Villa course? Yeah, I'm done with that shit. Yeah. It really is easy money, but like the course would be go somewhere at like super bad times and take advantage of everything. So it's not really the, you know, the most noble thing to do. But it's, I guess it's business smart, right? Anyway, I'll be back on tomorrow. Today is what is today? Sunday. Today is Sunday, so this will go up and then I'll be back on tomorrow for the market open. Let's see if we can get some. See you at the market open, brother. Thank you for sticking around for the stream. I appreciate it. I really will get the chat fixed. I swear it's the next on my to-do list. Later, bro.